Hello, good evening. My name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. Any strange creaky noises you hear while I'm talking tonight and sighs, they are the dogs. They have settled down for the evening. It's quite a cold evening in August, hence the cardigan. In this little talk, I wanted to talk to you about the uses and abuses of ritual. Now, ritual is one of those things, it's a common word, we can use it in all sorts of contexts and everybody thinks they know what it means. The trouble is either that some people really haven't got a clue what it means and are just pretending, or that other people are using it out of context, or that people have different meanings for different situations, and so there is a great deal of confusion. So, for a pagan, what is ritual? What are the uses and abuses of ritual? For me, ritual is a little bit like magic. In other words, it has one of two functions. It is either saying please or thank you. Please help me. Please watch over me. Please help me to do what have you. Or it's saying thank you because you have helped me in some way. In my previous little chat, I talked about the harvest. A ritual to celebrate the harvest is entirely appropriate, and it is a thank you ritual. A ritual before the harvest comes in is again entirely appropriate, but it would more likely to be a please ritual. Please ensure that we have a good harvest. That's the way they work. So that's the first thing. If you're going to do a ritual, decide what it is exactly that you want to do. The other thing I think is that many people say, oh, I'm going to do a ritual, I'd like to do a ritual, but they don't actually know what it is they really want from a ritual. And part of the problem, I feel, is that we have become accustomed in the past 2,000 or so years to having ritual written down for us. In other words, it's a pre-prepared ritual. You know, you want to name a baby, there's your book. You want to perform a marriage, there's your book. You want to perform a funeral, there's your service. This is what you do for this situation. This is what you do for another situation. It's all set out. And the person who's conducting the ritual, which is something we'll come to in a minute, the person who's conducting the ritual doesn't actually have an awful lot of room to manoeuvre. This is all very well and good, but when we come to it as solitaries, we are faced with making choices. You know, how much of this ritual can I prepare in advance? How much is going to be spontaneous? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to wear? Do I need music? Do I need incense, candles, what have you? In other words, all the choices are down to us. Now, for somebody like me, who is a lifelong solitary, making choices is not particularly terrifying. You know, I sit there and I think, oh, I'll do it now. I'll do this, I'll do that, and it's fine. But another problem we have is that we've been brought up in some way to believe that there must be something big going on, that ritual needs to be grand, it needs to be showy. Actually, no, it doesn't need that at all. Please, you know, get that idea out of your head. Ritual can be simple. You can pick something up and just say, oh, blessed be this, and put it down again. It's a ritual. It's a very short one, but it's still a ritual. And I do get sort of sorry sometimes when I see people and they feel they can only do a ritual when they get into a group. And worse, that they actually want to watch other people performing rituals. We really shouldn't be frightened to perform ritual by ourselves, and I will try in later videos to actually do this for you, to show you a ritual from start to finish. And believe you me, it's only going to take a couple of minutes if I do. Plan in advance. What do you want? What are the important things? What would make it memorable? Because what a lot of us are really hankering after, you know, is a memorable ritual, not just any old ritual. We want something that's going to live here in the mind, here in the heart, here in the spirit. We want something that is going to linger for the rest of our lives. And believe it or not, when you have everything written down for you and you're just following a pattern, it's much harder to do that. When you make the ritual for yourselves, you get these wonderful moments much more often, with the proviso that they won't work if you don't actually perform them. Think about that. Don't just talk about it. Don't be an armchair witch. Try and get up and do something. I mean, I've known me stand out in my garden when it's dark, and I literally stand there under a full moon and say, "Oh, greetings, moon," a couple of times with appropriate gestures. And that's it. That's my ritual. Greetings, moon. I say hello to the moon. The moon, and what the moon symbolises, she looks down on me and says, "Hello there, Tylluan. You again, I see. Mind you don't get cold." And that kind of thing. And it's simple. But we've been somehow, what's the word? We've been indoctrinated. I won't say by whom or for what purpose, but we have been indoctrinated to believe that this is somehow not good enough. Don't you believe it? It is good enough. It's more than good enough. Anyway, I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll try and pick this up on ritual again and do a little bit more on it. Thank you for listening once more. Good night.